I'm Angela Karsten, and I am doing the servant leader interview. And I am using Lynn, and she is a nurse that I've learned a lot of things from. And she displays the servant leadership qualities that I would like to display. Um, this has been a difficult assignment because we continued to laugh during it, but now we're going to do it. And I need to make sure that it's okay with you that I get permission to use this interview for my course and submit it. Is that okay?
Yes, just use my good side.
Okay, no problem. What are your personal leadership strengths?
I feel like I'm a patient advocate. I feel like I accept feedback or work well with others. I try to put others' thoughts and feelings before me. I think it's important to be long-term committed. I think that shows a lot in a leadership role. I love to give support not only to my patients but other staff members as well as doctors. And I like the fact that when you do these things, doctors really respect you. They know they can trust you. They know that no matter what, you have their back, and then in return, they have your back, which causes you to take better care of a patient.
Absolutely.
There's more conversations, there's more information, and I feel like you communicate better with each other.
The communication is just better.
Like I said, I always try to put other people first, and that comes with whether it's a patient or whether it's a coworker. Like I said, I think these are all really good attributes of a leader. Those are the most important ones to me.
Okay. What role do you allow fellow staff members to play in collaborating on your decisions?
So at my job, everyone has a say pretty much in everything. So we have, in the mornings, we have group huddles, and that's a time where we can all come together. We all know what time to be there. If something bothered you the day before, if someone kind of slacked off or if someone didn't stock their room. I know these are all little petty things, but these things build up and mount up, and they really change the atmosphere of your working environment. So this is a time for us to come together and say, hey, listen, someone didn't stock the room yesterday. Sometimes we all slack off a little bit. Let's all try really hard because we all need to be a team together. But it's also, our morning meetings are also a time where we can say positive things like, hey, you stayed 15 minutes later yesterday and helped me transport this patient. You didn't have to. Thank you so much. And also in our staff meetings, we have a round robin that we do at every single staff meeting. So we talk about everything that's going on, whether it's the budget, the supplies, new equipment. This may be happening, this may not be happening. We do a round robin. Each individual employee gets to say exactly what they think. Like, hey, I think this is a terrible idea. I think this is going to ruin everything. Everyone gets to put their own personal feelings, opinions into it. We all discuss everything, and then from there we usually make kind of a consensus, and then we have a leadership group that then goes on to upper management, or either our director takes all of our thoughts, opinions to upper management. But everyone has a say-so. Everyone's able to make a decision in everything that we do.
So you're kind of like the middle person, like you're sort of like the charge person that kind of delegates things throughout the day and on a daily basis, but then you answer to like a manager that's above you.
I have a director above me.
Okay. Do you allow for staff members to meet their full potential, and if so, how do you accomplish this goal?
Yes, and one thing that I really do like about my job is that we all have strengths. All of us are a little better at some things than others. I personally am terrible at IVs, and I know that some people are really good at IVs. So, when I'm in a situation that I know I can't do something, I go and get someone who can do it. I make them feel better about themselves. I allow them to do what they're good at. Also, as a nurse in the cath lab, we can scrub, we can monitor, we can do any of the positions. So there's some nurses who really don't like scrubbing. So, if there's others who really do, we try to put them in a position where they can scrub more. Also, when it comes to education, if someone really likes doing peripheral cases, we've actually taken 3 people, kind of made them a super user, sent them off to have more education so that they are kind of the head of the peripherals. They know all about the equipment. They know all about, anything. Usually if we have a peripheral, we'll put them in that room that day. We make sure that we have a lot of super users. We have a lot of equipment, but we allow people to volunteer to be the super users. We don't make anyone do anything that they don't want to do.
Okay.
So therefore they can take it, make it their own, but then they're in charge of it, whether there's like weekly updates or daily updates, that kind of thing. Also, we have non-invasive procedures. Some of the nurses really like doing those, and then some of them hate it. So if there comes a time where we have a lot of those procedures, then, we try to grab the nurse who really likes that, let them go in there, make them feel important, let them do something that they really, stride and do better. And, yeah.
I know as a staff member, when I was in the OR, as a staff member, a nurse, you really appreciate when the leader allows you to do the things that you enjoy doing, because it makes your day so much better. And it does. In the end, it makes you give better care because everyone is communicating and being on the same page versus doing something they're uncomfortable with, and then it's a tension type situation.
Right. I totally think when you're allowed to do the things that you really enjoy and you're allowed to do the things that you're good at, people who feel valued will do way more than they're ever expected to do. So I honestly feel at our job, we allow each person to kind of shine individually. We allow them to take their strengths, and it's really a group effort. Like I said, we have scrubs, we have monitors, we have circulators that are the nurses. We are a team, but as a team, you can still, if you're better at one thing, we all kind of know each other, so we allow you to do that part. And, you're better at this, we'll let you do this part. But we all work together so well, and I feel like we all do more than we're asked to do because we feel appreciated.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And by doing those type of things, a good leader, someone who's trying to be a servant type leader, in turn, that's what retention is all about. That's what keeping nurses, when they're happy, they take better care of the patients and they stay in their jobs and they get to know each other just like you're talking about.
Right. And unfortunately now medicine seems to be all about satisfaction scores. You make a nurse or an employer happy because you let them shine and you let them feel appreciated and you allow them to make decisions. You allow them to have a say-so in everything. They, in return, really honestly do take better care of their patients, which in return causes better satisfaction.
Patient satisfaction.
And that's what it's all about these days, unfortunately. But
right. If someone like above you ever gave suggested something that you would do that maybe you don't think that your staff was unfair to your staff, how would you handle that?
Well, it just depends on the situation, but I can give you an example. Right now we're really short-staffed, which, most hospitals usually always are, but we're extremely short-staffed and we're very, very busy lately. And as a management position, I normally don't take call shifts or late shifts. But recently, with the way our schedule is, people are having to pick up extra lates and extra calls because of, holidays coming up and because of graduations and vacations. So making out the schedule, I was told to give even more call shifts and late shifts to other people. But for myself, I don't think that it's fair to watch these people take 3 and 4 extra call shifts because it's a lot of work, and then me not take anything. So as a servant leader, I want to lead by example, and so therefore I've taken extra lates and calls to kind of pick up the slack so that other people don't have to take as much. But in return, they notice that. I promise you, they notice when I don't do it, but they also notice when I do that, and it's showing them like, hey, I'm here for you. Let me help you. I'm not better than you. We're all a team. We can all work together. So that's kind of an example of something that's happened recently, and I really do feel like that is what helps you make a servant leader.
That's what helps you be.
You want to serve others, like I said, as well as your other employees and your patients. So,
and I think that one of the questions was, how do you handle suggestions and feedback when negotiating changes and improvements? I mean, I think you said that you guys take everything together, everyone gets a say, and you discuss it and give it to the person above you, and then they carry it on up the ladder so that
right.
changes can be made.
And in the medical field, I feel especially in the cath lab or kind of in the OR, you have some very strong personalities. And so, sometimes people are absolutely, no, I don't like this. I don't like this decision. This isn't going to work out. We really do talk to those people. We really want to make everyone happy. We do want to come to a consensus. And somehow or another, I feel like we really do that. It might take us 2 hours in a staff meeting to figure it out, but we take that time. Whenever we have a staff meeting, we always push our patients. We normally start at 8 a.m. and we don't start patients until 10 a.m. so they come in a little bit later. It gives us at least 3 hours, because we actually come in at 7. But it gives us 3 hours to really go into whatever we need to. And I honestly feel that upper management, I feel that everyone really appreciates us. I feel like they really like our feedback. I mean, we're the ones there working. We're not the ones walking around with a clipboard, not taking care of patients. We're in there. It's our heart and soul. That's our job.
Right.
And so I really do feel like they do appreciate us. They want to know what helps everything run more smoothly. And so they really do honestly take our thoughts into mind.
Now, you've sort of already answered this question, but do you describe yourself as a servant leader?
I mean, I would like to say yes, but I mean, not every day. Sometimes it's really hard. Nursing's hard. Being a leader's hard. I would love to say I'm perfect, but none of us are. I always want to do the right thing. I always want to be a patient advocate. I always want to put other people before me. I always want to do these, but all of us have bad days. All of us fail constantly, but I think as long as you have the drive, the willpower, you know what's right, and you honestly are trying to do the right thing for everyone around you, I feel like you are striving and working harder to be a servant leader.
Well, I appreciate you taking this time, and this concludes our servant leader interview.